Hello everyone, welcome back to the JoJo series, and in this video we are going to be making fighting styles. It's been a while since I've made my last video, but I'm back now, so yeah. So for this fighting style system, we're going to be needing to import my folder. It's called Nori Framework. Oops, not this. It handles movesets and stuff. So the only thing you need to put in here are the Nori server. Here we go. So you need to adjust the configure module. So this is where the module holds all the moveset holders. So what is a moveset holder? A moveset holder is a folder that holds all the movesets. For example, the stand skills, it holds multiple movesets such as Monkey Supreme, Standless, and Star Platinum. So let's just change this to stand skills. And we're going to be adding a new folder for the fighting styles. We're going to be calling it spec skills because in YBA it's called spec. I'm inspired by the game server storage spec skills. There we go. And by the way, the best way to handle a moveset is you create a module, right, for your moveset, and then you add a new module inside of the moveset for each skill. So skill 1, skill 2, and so on. For the specs, let's do a few specs. I'm not going to be making a complete spec. This video will just cover the spec system. So yeah, let's try or something like that. And in server script service, let's import the module. Nori server. Alright, so this module just handles calling functions. So in here, it handles calling the function by using the call skill function. So we don't need to require this. We require the moveset handler, and this moveset handler requires every single skill, every single moveset. So let's just change player stand to standless. There we go. And we don't need this. All we need is moveset handler dot call skill. So there's a few parameters: the player, the character holder, which is stand skills, the moveset, stand skills. Moveset will be player stand, the key pressed. There we go. Just move this, and this should work fine. Let's see if there are any errors. Okay, there's an error. Since index nil, yeah, I need to delete this. There we go. So that's what you do. You delete the folder. Right now we configure the specs. So in boxing, let's try to create one skill. Module.c equals function. It's the same as function module.c. So here I'll just print jailbreaker or something like that. And for Hamon, let's print zoom punch or something like that. So let's do spec local player spec. So we're going to be adding a new data for spec. And let's do this. Right, so this module automatically checks if the moveset exists. If it doesn't exist, it will just stop the script. So we can just add in player spec right here, even if it doesn't exist, or if it's just an empty string. Now you want to configure the data store. Data store. Now let's do spec. Player get attribute spec. Player set attribute spec data spec. So when you leave the game, it will save your spec data, and it will check if the data exists. Then it will set the attribute spec to the saved spec in the saved data. So yeah, now let's test it out. So there will be a problem here. It's that the move, the spec, and the stand will overlap. So we'll fix that. But first, let's add in a spec for our player. Let's add in Hamon. Not here. Spec Hamon. That sounds index nil. Oh, I forgot to change this to spec skills. So yeah, spec skills. There we go. Right, so yeah, here zoom punch works. Zoom punch works, but it overlaps with the stand skill. So here, well, let me change the stand. There we go. See, it beat down and zoom punch. So in skill handler, let's check if stand exists. Okay, let's check if stand exists. Then we'll call the skill stand skills. Return if the stand is summoned. We're going to be calling the stand skill. If it isn't summoned, then we're going to check if player spec, then that. Else we'll just do this. There we go. So this will be if the stand is summoned, then we're going to be calling the stand skill. So the stand has priority here. If you want to use zoom punch and not use beatdown at the same time, you'll have, if you want to use zoom punch, you'll have to unsummon your stand. And here, so if the stand is unsummoned, then it will continue to check if the player spec exists. If the player spec exists, then it's going to call the skill. So let's say we're M1ing. This will do nothing because the player spec doesn't have an M1. So here, let's just do module.m1 of this function and m1. Let's do this for now, so that so this is placeholder code. So you just add in your m1 here, okay? And then the stand takes priority. I want to add another priority, which is a spec with a tool. So here we have Hamon, which doesn't require a tool. But if we do something like boxing, which does require a tool, when we equip the tool, then it takes priority over the stand. Here I'll just do something like this. We'll spec tools. So let's create a tool for boxing. Gloves. Let's name this gloves. Requires handle false. So here, gloves equals, and then the moveset name, which is boxing. There we go. Then let's do this. Local clear tool equals clear.character and first child of class tool. So let's do an if statement. If clear tool, let's do if spec tools clear tool dot name. So let's say we're equipping gloves, right? And so this equals to boxing, and then we'll check the player spec. If player spec equals this, so if let's say the player spec boxing is equal to this, then we'll call the spec skills. There we go. So let's say we're using another tool, let's say sword, and sword isn't the right tool for boxing, so it will not call this. It will call the stand instead. Okay, so let's see if this works. Oops, there's an error. Attempt to index nil with name. Okay, let's just do this on if tool, if player tool, then paste this here. There we go, and return. Let's do return so that it doesn't call the stand, so it breaks the script. Let's equip our stand. It's not working because we're trying to unsummon the stand. We can't do it. So here this checks if stand exists, if the stand is summoned, but we need to summon the stand in the first place, and the stand doesn't exist, so it won't work. So here it works. There we go. Let's change to star platinum. Let's do zoom punch. No, it doesn't work. Only when you summon it works. And then this is the spec M1s, M1, 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 M1. Zoom punch doesn't work. There we go. Let's return true here. So let's just do this then. Let's add another if statement. If not, then so if this function is successful, it'll return true, right? Let's just do this then. Let's just do this then. If, and then we create a statement. Then there we go. Let's return here. So it'll check if this function returns true. It'll call this function, and if it doesn't return true, it will just go to the player spec. If this function is successful, it'll return true. It'll return true, and it will go to this code right here, and it will return the script. It will stop the entire script. So here, let's change to, oh, we already have Monkey Supreme. Let's press C, zoom punch. Alright, so that's it for the spec system. Now we can add our own code for your specs. Alright, so I've added a few basic things, like when you equip the gloves, your animation plays, and you get the gloves. Here you can check out what I've done. You can pause the script to do the same thing if you want to. Here's the animation code. You essentially just change the ID and you change the state so that the animation gets reset. So your player plays the newly implanted animations, as you can see right here. Now, there's a few things that we need to adjust in the skill handler. I found a few bugs. So first, you need to remove the tool checks. So here, you want to be able to use skills whilst using a tool, right? That's why we added the boxing glove. So that's why we need to remove the tool checks, because in our scripts we have a check for the tool. If the character is using a tool, then it's going to stop the script, but we don't want that. So tool, then return, and tool, oops, not here. Control Shift F. Oh, there we go. Tool, then there we go. You remove this tool, or tool. Okay, I'll change this to exclude. That's the newly added. That's just the new blacklist. I'll remove this and change this to exclude. Okay, here remove this as well, and here remove this as well. Exclude. Then we can move on to do this. Check if the skill exists here. So here we can check if moveset handler, if the spec has the skill. If it does, then we're going to end the script right here. If it doesn't, then we're going to continue the code with the stand. Actually, now I'll just do this. Here, else. There we go. Because sometimes, let's say we don't have a Z skill in our spec, so then we'll have to check if the Z skill exists in the stand, then we call the Z skill. So yeah, I've actually added a skill right here for the gloves. It's called Jailbreaker. Right here. Here it's actually playing the stand skill. So, oh, this is misspelled. Okay, now this should work. But then the skill will play twice. Oh, the unsummon didn't work. Oh, not sure why this is the case. Let's try this. Okay, so calling skill, okay, boom. Now here we actually want to check if the player is summoning. So okay, because we haven't done return here. There we go. Let's see if this works now. Okay, this works. Then that's the Jailbreaker. Okay, nice. Let's try doing a barrage. Okay, after that we do Jailbreaker. Nice. Alright, I think this is it for this spec tutorial. The next part will be, I don't know. And yeah, I'll see you later. Thank you for watching, everyone.